Alright, and we're back with another review and thoughts on. Written and directed by Chris Lofing and Travis Cluff, the movie Gallows. It's a lost footage horror film, and I did not mind it. I saw this before, and I know a lot of reviews trash it, bash it, what have you. I, on the other hand, did not mind the film when I first saw it many years ago. Even now, rewatching it, I still don't mind it. I'm not as high on it as I was before, but yeah, I can see some of the problems, at least that I have with it, such as, the basic premise is there's a theatrical play at the high school, and this I totally forget the lead character's name, along with the other douche. Like, there's the only likable character in the film is the lead guy. There's four people total in this whole movie, but like the lead, the kid that's supposed to play as the hangman in the play, pretty much he was like the only likable character in this movie, at least to me. I didn't mind the acting of everybody. I thought everybody did fine to decent, from fine to decent, from decent to fine. Basically, anyway, the plot is three high school kids plan to sabotage a high school drama play production, and pretty much stuff goes wrong when they realize they're not the only ones roaming at night in the school. And it's pretty much a ghost haunting in the school and attacks them, and pretty much the hangman, Gallows, named Charlie, who pretty much it all really, like, this movie starts out in 1993, and pretty much an accident occurs when a kid named Charlie was supposed to be the lead in the play, and then he gets accidentally hung, and the kid that was supposed to be the stand-in didn't show, or no, Charlie wasn't the main actor in that play. He was actually a stand-in for another kid that was supposed to show up, but that kid didn't, so Charlie took his spot, and then he died. I, I don't know, not to really bash on the film as much as like a lot of other people are, but some of the problems I have with it, again, the acting's fine, the acting's fine to decent, the plot is fine, but the reasoning of why it's happening is debatable in a way, because you find out the kid that was supposed to be in the play of 1993, while he survived, he had a son, and this son ends up being in that same play, even though I don't get how this high school, would put on a play that was traumatic for many people from many years ago, attended this school, and then they put on that same play that happened to have a murder in it. Like, what? So, maybe they want to erase that in a way, but then they don't, because then they put pictures. They have the school picture, that drama cast, in the glass of the lobby. The atmosphere. There's scenes where I sort of liked some stuff going on, like where they're exploring the school, and it's dark, and they hear noises, and it's eerie, and then like the point where they end up, ruining the set. They end up coming to the school, and they ruin some of the set, break stuff, knocks over props, and this guy that's holding the camera the whole time, like, he's annoying, so annoying. He's over exaggerated as a douche. Like, he is, oh my god. Like, I get why, I get his whole character. He's supposed to be like a jock. I don't even know if he is supposed to be a jock. I guess he's supposed to be a football player because they mention, oh, the lead character name, his name's Reese, but I forget the jerk's name. But there's Reese, who's the main character who's in the play, and then there's Pfeifer, who he has a crush on, who she's also in the play, and then you have the douchebag's girlfriend, Kelsey or Chelsea, and I didn't mind. Again, the stuff I didn't mind was the subtle creepiness of the legend of Charlie. Stuff is like, we don't say that, like, Pfeiffer's like, when the douchebag at the earlier in the film, he's like, so and so Charlie, and then she's like, we don't say that name here. So I sort of like how they're fearful of the legend of Charlie. I even like his look as a hangman. Of course, you don't really see him as much, but when you do see him, it's creepy. Granted, it's not a high body count, and I mean, I don't really care, but the only reason I don't mind the film as much as other people, because I liked the plot-ish, but then also, the twist is fine, but then it's kind of hard to take seriously, because the whole fact that, spoilers, that Charlie has a daughter, and she ends up being, Pfeiffer ends up being the daughter of Charlie, which is, I mean, unless his girlfriend was pregnant at the time of the play in around 93 or at 93 or whatever. Either she had to have been pregnant by that time, and then I guess had Pfeiffer, and then she would have grown up and then went to this high school, but then I watched review videos of people like, she would be like 20 or 21 and still in high school. So I guess sort of let that go, because I still like the movie. Stuff like that I can sort of let go, but it's still a problem a little bit there. But yeah, her being his daughter, and I guess pretty much, but then it's sort of like hard to believe that, what, Charlie and the girlfriend, I guess her mom, who you see at the beginning and then at the end, sort of. I think if you have a certain cut of the film or deleted scenes, there's like an extended ending where you see, like, at the end where she's applauding Pfeiffer in the audience. But yeah, the movie overall, again, the acting's fine, the plot is okay. Again, the only likable character was Reese, only because I related to him, because I used to be in plays of high school, and it was sort of fun. But yeah, so really I related to him of doing the whole play thing. But other than that, it's sort of a time waster, kinda. I mean, you see like the girlfriend Chelsea, or Kelsey, whatever her name is. She ends up getting, you seen in the trailer where it's like a red lighting. The light's red, and like you see like a rope around her neck, and then she gets pulled in the background. That was sort of creepy. I sort of like that. I didn't like how they would do stupid things where, like, except Pfeiffer, I can sort of see what she was doing because she was in on it the whole time. So I sort of can't really hold that against her, because that was her and Charlie and her mommy's plan or whatever. So I guess it was a family affair plan. But I sort of liked Reese. At the end, he gave his life for Pfeiffer, so that was a waste. Cause then he ends up, he's like, it's all because of me. So he decides to, at the end, just go forward with it and die. And like Pfeiffer's going on with the lines from the play, and he's like, "Hurt, you need to leave. You don't need to speak like that." And then she keeps going on, and he's yelling at her, and then the spotlight's on, and then you see Charlie a little bit tightening up the rope, and then he kills him, and then she bows, and then you hear like applause from the audience, really only one person, and then it cuts to black, and then it cuts to police at, I guess, Pfeiffer and her mom's house, and then it's that scene. Like at the like, I don't know if that was a like if they added that on like the studio maybe. Oh, we don't really care for this ending, but how about we add another thing where we need a jump scare at the end. Like that was sort of stupid, because then it just the two police, all they do is they stumble upon Pfeiffer and her mom. Pfeiffer's mom's combing her hair, brushing her hair, and they're watching old newscast of how Charlie during the play when he died, which also the characters at the school end up watching that in a room, and then you find out that it's kind of weird because there was no tape in the VCR, but the VCR is playing and the TV's on, and it's like fuzzy, but you can sort of make out what's going on, and then it just cuts to black. It shuts the TV off, and then there's no tape in here. So I sort of like that scene. That was sort of creepy and eerie. But yeah, overall, and yeah, this movie did get a sequel, despite all the hate and bashing this movie got, which I was surprised, because there was stuff on the internet where it's like, yeah, they're getting the Gallows is getting a sequel. And I'm like, yeah, right. And then, of course, just like Unfriended Dark Web, the Gallows gets a sequel in secret. They were filming in secret under another name, I guess. But yeah, now the sequel, on the other hand, which is not really a sequel if you think about it, because it doesn't even have the word 2 in it. So I don't know really how it's a sequel, because it doesn't really it doesn't recap anything as part of this movie other than the Charlie thing and Pfeiffer, but then it's kind of lame because they do different stuff with Charlie in the sequel than what was based here, where I thought he was supposed to just haunt this school, but turns out in the sequel he's like a online celebrity, whatever. So, which I will get to, because I do like the sequel, but then the ending ruins some of it for me, where it's also a depressing ending, which I was not a fan of. I hate the twist ending. But yeah, I will get to The Gallows, the second act, which came out, I think 19 or 2020. I forget, but yeah, The Gallows, not as bad as people make it out to be. At least not to me. But, I respect people's opinions if they hate it. That's cool. I didn't. I wouldn't say it's one of the better lost footage films, I'll say that, but it's far from the worst. I mean, there's way worse lost footage films. Way worse than this. This is like decent at best. Peace and love.